Hi there and welcome back to the Der Grenadier YouTube channel for another video. I know it's been a while, but to be honest I've been pretty busy. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but you must know that I have been working on my impression and some other impressions and some things that I wanted to do, some projects, and I've made some progress. So today I wanted to show you in this video these new frederrici marschstiefel that I got from a friend of mine. And I believe I'm the third owner, maybe fourth, third at least, but they are still pretty good, they are going pretty strong, and I'm going to show you in this video. So I thank you for watching and I hope that you will enjoy. First, I wanted to give some information for the new people in this hobby. The beginners, the people that have not yet started building their impression, and the people that are starting to build their impression but are looking on the internet and they see the Nestov site and they're like, that's expensive, like 140 euros for a pair of shoes. Like, there must be a cheaper option, right? And the fact is that Nestov is the cheap option. What you must know about your boots is that they are the most important piece of your impression. When you start building your impression, your boots need to be good. And here is why. You are going to be walking, sleeping, crawling in the dirt for an entire weekend, for what, one weekend a month, for years on end. And those boots you are going to be wearing all the time. When you are sleeping, quite some time, you're going to be keeping your boots on. When you're walking in the dirt, in the mud, in the water, you are going to have your boots on. And these are quite simply simple leather boots, and they need to be well built. They need to be sturdy. The leather needs to be of good quality, and the person who made them needs to be knowing what they are doing. And the fact is that most cheaper vendors like Nestov hire people to make these boots, cheap people who do not know what they are doing, and they are using bad materials and so on and so on. So if you don't buy good boots from the very start, you are going to be very miserable, because your boots are going to literally fall apart around your feet, and you are going to have holes in your boots, soles that get loose, they get worn out pretty fast, and in the end you're going to be spending a lot more money buying cheap shoes after cheap shoes after, and so on. So invest in good boots immediately. Now that the rant is over, I'm going to show you my frederrici M37 schuurschuur and my new marschstiefel. So maybe you have noticed that there's a weird patch on this boot, and the same on that one. And the thing that happened is I put them too close to the fire, and they sort of, well, crumbled around my ankle. So they needed to be repaired. Luckily, the place where they got damaged is just this area right here. And Alexander from workshop decided he could help me with this, and he was able to repair them for me. You might think these are ruined, you can't wear those anymore, but the thing is that these boots were really hard to make. They cost a lot of materials, even back then. And if you might remember, Germany had a problem with supplying all kinds of materials, including leather. That is why they went from these to these. If boots got damaged, they got repaired most of the time. It's really hard to find proper evidence of this, but you can see repairs on clothing items and material of gear, equipment, pretty often. You don't see it that much on boots that remain these days, because of course a lot of them were worn after the war and were eventually thrown away or something like that. But there are examples that survived. And you can see these kinds of repairs pretty often Of course, it is a shame that this happened to me, to my boots, but take my advice, be careful around heat sources, fires. When you get home, don't put them close to a radiator or something to dry out. That's really unwise to do. Be careful with your boots, but most of the time they can be repaired. Because my boots got damaged, I needed an alternative to use so I can switch between boots and have an extra pair on me, with me on events that I can wear if something happens. And a friend of mine was selling these. And as you might have heard, these are the same maker, but these are a little bit older. They are an older one Frederrici. I don't know if they were built for somebody, like with measurements and all, or if they are stock. But they fit me pretty well. And I have insoles in them, so they are pretty comfortable. The way they are built is pretty good. The heel, as you can see, tapers down a little bit, which is exactly what you want. They were supposed to be that way. Of course, the front part overlaps the shaft, and they have all the hobnails and the toe plate. So less nice things about these. The shaft is pretty wide, which is ideal if you wear a grenade inside, but if you are not an idiot and you don't do that, they are a little bit wide-ish for regular size legs. If you have really wide calves, maybe they could be good, but Frederici's are known for being a little bit big in the shaft. Also a thing is that the stitching is synthetic, which doesn't color that well. You can see that the stitching is a little bit more whitish than the rest of the boot, which is of course blackened. And if you grease the boot and you use shoe polish, the stitching turns a little bit like purple-ish, and it needs a lot of time and use to get properly dark, which could be seen as a downside. But again, construction-wise, Frederrici is pretty good. They are built really well, they are sturdy. They are not just going to fall apart on you unless you mistreat them, if you are that stupid, of course. And the quality of the leather and materials is also quite good. So there is a real upside to these. And the nice thing is that they are not too expensive and you can buy them off the rack. When you get to the Nestorf site, don't buy their regular off the rack shoes, but go for the Frederrici ones, because they are just built better and you're going to be spending a little bit more money. Of course, that's true, but they are a good alternative, and that's exactly the point that I'm trying to make. For a closer look, these are the bottoms of the boots. As you can see, the heel tapers down a bit. The quality of the metal of the hobnails and the toe plate and the heel plate is pretty good, but if you wear them a lot on tarmac, they will suffer, of course, and they will wear through pretty fast, but that is a thing with all brands. Now you can see the stitching, especially on top here, because there's not a lot of dirt that gets up here, of course. This stays a little bit lighter. It's really difficult to judge on camera, of course, but the quality of the leather is pretty good, but it needs to be oiled, of course. As you can see, all hobnails are still there. On these, just going to show you, this is the repair that was done. The large piece, and this one also has a small patch right here. This one was still intact. And the bottoms, this one is missing 2 hobnails, but the rest is still there. So when you decide which boots you're going to buy, keep in mind that these are preferable for late war, sorry. These are more preferable for early war, these more for late. So if you do late war, I would advise you to get a set of these, the Schnürschuhe, which fit easier and better because they have schnürs, lacing. You tighten them around your feet and they will fit quite good most of the time, unless you really bought a messed up size that doesn't fit you. But the thing with the marschstiefel is that they need to fit tight, but not so tight that you can't put them on, because there is no lacing. And if they are not tight enough and you can put them on really easy, you will most likely get heel slip, which means that you will get blisters and you can't march for that long, which is a shame because they are marschstiefel. So what you want when you put these on, and there are pull tabs inside, of course, with these. When you put them on, you want them to sort of slip into place like that, and then they will be nice and comfortable on your feet. But if they are too loose, you will have a problem as well. That's going to be all for now, I think. I'm going to try to make more videos in the future. I'm going to try to make videos more regularly. And I'm going to try to improve the quality of the image and sound for you as soon as I can. But it's going to be a few months before I can do that. So, for now, I'm going to thank you and I'm going to wish you a very nice week, very nice evening. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.